Before we begin, welcome to Cataholic. If you love cats not just as pets, but as quiet, emotional souls with their own mysterious language, then you're in the right place. Here on Cataholic, we slow down, look closer, and learn what our cats may have been trying to tell us all along. So if that sounds like your kind of space, subscribe, like this video, and stay with me. And while you're listening, tell me in the comments your cat's name and one habit they do that has always made you curious. Now, let's begin. Good morning, kindred spirits, and welcome back to Cataholic, your quiet corner of the internet, where we slow down, settle in, and celebrate the simple, profound joy of sharing our lives with cats. If you live with a cat, then you already know there is something almost sacred about their presence. You know the comfort of a purr filling a quiet room. You know the softness of them curled at the foot of your bed. You know the strange beauty of watching them move through the house, as if they belong not only to your home, but to some older, deeper world just beneath it. And maybe at some point, you have looked at your cat and wondered what they are actually trying to tell you. Because cats are always saying something. The domestic cat is one of the most fascinating contradictions in the animal world. They are hunters by design, quiet, observant, territorial, and deeply instinctive. And yet, somehow they have chosen to live beside us. They have stepped into our homes, our routines, and our private lives without ever fully giving up the ancient instincts that shaped them. That is why cats can feel so mysterious. Unlike dogs, they do not always communicate in obvious ways. Their language is subtle. It lives in the flick of a tail, the tension in the body, the position of the ears, or the narrowing of the eyes, the moment they walk away, the place they choose to sleep, and the boundaries they expect us to understand without needing to explain them. To understand a cat, we have to become quieter ourselves. We have to stop expecting loud affection, obvious signals, and human-style communication. We have to learn how to notice, and once we do, something beautiful happens. What once seemed random starts to make sense. What once felt distant begins to feel intimate. What once looked like coldness begins to reveal itself as caution, instinct, sensitivity, and trust. Today, we are going to decode the hidden language of cats. We are going to explore what their eyes reveal, how they greet the people they trust, why affection can suddenly turn into irritation, what their sleeping positions say about their emotional state, and how instinct and routine shape the way they move through life. If you have ever wanted to understand your cat more deeply, then stay with me. Let's begin with the eyes. People often say the eyes are the window to the soul. But for a cat, the eyes are much more than that. They are a survival tool, a warning system, a signal of safety, tension, curiosity, and trust. Have you ever caught your cat staring at you from across the room? Not just glancing, but truly staring. A steady, focused, unblinking look that feels almost intense. To us, eye contact often means connection. But in the feline world, prolonged eye contact can carry a very different meaning. For cats, a hard stare can feel like pressure. It can signal dominance. It can suggest tension or challenge. That is one reason cats often seem drawn to the one person in the room who is ignoring them. The person who loves cats is usually looking straight at them, trying to connect, hoping for a response. But to the cat, that intensity can feel intimidating. Meanwhile, the quiet person who is not staring is actually behaving in a way that feels much more respectful. And then there's one of the most beautiful gestures in feline communication, the slow blink. If your cat looks at you and slowly closes their eyes, then opens them again gently, you are receiving one of the clearest signs of trust they can give. For an animal that survives through alertness, choosing to soften the eyes and close them in your presence is not a small thing. It means your cat feels safe enough to let their guard down, even for a moment. That is why many people call the slow blink a feline kiss, and the most wonderful part is that you can return it. The next time your cat looks at you, do not stare. Soften your face, slowly close your eyes, open them gently, then look slightly away. In that tiny exchange, you are speaking one of the gentlest words in your cat's language. You are saying, "I am safe. You are safe. There is no threat here." For some cats, that changes everything. Now let's talk about greeting. Cats do not greet us the way dogs do. They do not always jump, bark, spin, or explode with excitement. Their greeting is quieter, but it is no less meaningful. If your cat walks toward you with their tail standing upright, sometimes with a little curve at the tip, that is one of the clearest signs of friendly intention in the feline world. It means they are open, comfortable, social, happy to approach you. And what often comes next is even more revealing. They rub against your legs, they circle your ankles, they press their cheek against your hand, or brush their body against you as they pass. Most people see this and think, my cat wants affection. And that is true. But there is something else happening too. Cats understand their world through scent. They have scent glands around their cheeks, chin, forehead, and tail base. When they rub against you, they are leaving their scent on you. They are marking you as familiar, safe, part of their world. In a sense, they are saying, you belong with me. This is one of the most intimate things a cat can do. But many humans make a mistake right here. The moment the cat approaches, we get excited and reach down from above with a full hand, ready to pet. To us, it feels loving. To a cat, it can feel abrupt and overwhelming. A hand descending from above can resemble the movement of a predator. A much more respectful greeting is much simpler. Lower yourself if you can. Extend one relaxed finger near your cat's nose level. Then wait. Do not push it toward them. Just offer it. This gives your cat the chance to investigate you the way cats investigate one another. They can sniff, they can decide, and if they feel comfortable, they will lean forward and press their cheek or chin against your finger. That moment matters because you are not forcing contact. You are inviting it. And with cats, being invited matters much more than being grabbed. Now let's move into one of the most confusing experiences many cat owners have. You are sitting with your cat. They are purring. Maybe they are in your lap. Maybe they seem completely relaxed. You are petting them, enjoying the moment, feeling close to them. And then suddenly, they swat your hand, nip you, or leap away. And you are left thinking, what did I do wrong? In most cases, your cat did not change moods out of nowhere. They were communicating all along. The signals were just easy to miss. This is often called petting-induced overstimulation. A cat's body is incredibly sensitive. Their skin is full of nerve endings designed to detect tiny changes in the environment. That means touch can become overwhelming faster than many people realize. What begins as pleasant can slowly become irritating, then uncomfortable, then unbearable. And before your cat reacts, they usually give signs. The purring may stop, the tail may begin to twitch, the ears may turn slightly back, the skin along the back may ripple, the body may tense, the eyes may widen. These are all small ways of saying, that's enough. If those signs go unnoticed, the cat may feel they have no choice but to become more direct. That is when the swat or nip happens. It is not cruelty. It is not betrayal. It is communication. Once you understand that, your whole perspective changes. Instead of thinking your cat is unpredictable, you begin to realize they are actually very honest. The key is to respect the threshold. When you notice those early signs, stop petting. Do not punish. Do not chase. Do not force more contact. Just let the moment end. When you do this consistently, your cat learns something important. They do not have to escalate to be understood. That builds trust. It also helps to focus on the places many cats naturally enjoy most: the cheeks, under the chin, and around the base of the ears. These areas often feel safer and more pleasant than long, full-body strokes. And as for the belly, many cats expose it as a sign of trust, not as an invitation to touch. That distinction matters. Every cat has a different limit. Some want only a few strokes before they are done. Others melt into affection and stay there. But loving a cat well means learning where that line is and choosing to respect it. Now let's talk about sleep, because this is where a cat's emotional world becomes especially visible. Cats sleep for a huge portion of their lives, often 15 to 20 hours a day. But sleep is not just rest for a cat. It is instinct. It is strategy. It is trust. How your cat sleeps and where your cat sleeps can reveal a great deal about how safe they feel. When a cat curls into a tight ball with nose tucked near tail, they are drawing on a very old survival instinct. This position conserves warmth and protects vulnerable organs. It is the posture of comfort, protection, and security. When a cat sits in a loaf position with paws tucked underneath the body, they are relaxed but not fully surrendered to deep sleep. They are resting in a calm, alert state, comfortable but still ready to move if needed. When a cat stretches fully across the floor, legs long and body open, they are showing a different kind of comfort. That kind of sleep usually appears when a cat feels physically safe and emotionally at ease. And then there is the famous belly-up position. If your cat sleeps on their back with the belly exposed, you are looking at one of the clearest visual signs of trust a cat can offer. The belly is the most vulnerable part of the body. In the wild, exposing it carelessly would be dangerous. So when a cat does that in your home, they are telling you something powerful. They are saying, "I feel safe here." But again, safety does not always mean permission. A cat can trust you deeply and still not want their belly touched. That is why so many loving-looking moments end in surprise scratches. The trust was real. The invitation was imagined. And then we come to one of the most meaningful questions of all. What does it mean when your cat sleeps on you? If your cat sleeps on your chest, they are often seeking something deeper than warmth. They are choosing your heartbeat, your breathing, your rhythm. For many cats, that is deeply soothing. It echoes the comfort of sleeping close to their mother and littermates when they were very small. If your cat sleeps near your head, they may be drawn to your scent. Your pillow, your hair, and the warmth around your face carry familiar smells that can feel deeply reassuring to them. If they sleep at your feet, they may be balancing affection with practicality. They want to stay close to you while also keeping a good position for movement and awareness. And if they sleep beside you with their back turned toward you, that is not rudeness. It is trust. An animal does not casually turn its back on something it fears. When your cat does that, they are telling you they do not feel the need to guard themselves against you. That is a quiet, breathtaking kind of faith. Now let's step back and look at something even bigger than body language. Rhythm. Cats are creatures of routine. Their bodies are deeply shaped by instinct, timing, territory, and repetition. They may live in our homes, but much of their inner world is still governed by ancient patterns. Have you ever noticed how your cat seems to know exactly when dinner should happen? Or how they appear in the kitchen before you even touch the food? Or how they suddenly become wildly active just before dawn or right after sunset? That is not random. Cats have a strong internal clock. Their ancestors were most active at dawn and dusk, which is why many domestic cats still become energized during those times. That is why the evening zoomies happen. That is why early morning chaos is so common. To a cat, routine is not boring. Routine is security. Predictability helps them feel safe. When meals happen at similar times, when the home environment stays fairly stable, when daily life follows familiar patterns, cats tend to feel more grounded. But when everything changes constantly, feeding times, furniture, noise levels, energy in the home, it can create stress. Cats are more sensitive to disruption than many people realize. That is also why play matters so much. A healthy cat life follows an instinctive rhythm. Hunt, catch, eat, groom, sleep. When we skip the hunt part and simply leave food out all day, many cats lose an important emotional and physical outlet. They may still eat, but something instinctive remains unfinished. That is where interactive play becomes so valuable. When you use a wand toy and let your cat stalk, chase, pounce, and catch, you are not just entertaining them. You are helping them complete a natural cycle. You are giving their mind and body something deeply familiar and satisfying. And when you feed them after that play session, it creates a sense of completion. Hunt, catch, eat. After that, many cats will groom themselves and settle into a calm, satisfied sleep. Their nervous system softens, their restlessness fades, their instincts feel fulfilled. A bored cat is often an understimulated hunter. And sometimes what looks like bad behavior is really unmet instinct. The more we understand this, the more clearly we begin to see our cats for who they truly are. Not random, not moody without reason, not distant for the sake of being distant, but sensitive, pattern-driven, instinctive, honest. And perhaps that is what makes life with cats so beautiful. Loving a cat is not about forcing them to love like we do. It is about learning the shape of the love they already know how to give. It is about realizing that silence does not mean emptiness, that distance does not always mean rejection, that boundaries are not coldness, that caution is not lack of affection, and that trust from a cat is one of the most delicate and meaningful gifts a person can receive. Because a cat's love is not usually loud. It is built slowly. It is built when you learn their signals, when you return the slow blink, when you offer your hand instead of forcing touch, when you notice the tail twitch before the swat, when you stop petting before they have to defend themselves, when you respect the place they choose to sleep, when you preserve their routines, when you allow them to be fully cat. And that is when something beautiful happens. The invisible wall between human and feline begins to dissolve. And you realize your cat has been speaking to you all along. You just finally learned how to listen. Before we close, I want to invite you to stay close to Cataholic. If this video helped you understand your cat in a deeper way, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with another cat lover who would feel at home here too. And I'd really love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me your cat's name, where they usually sleep, or one strange little habit they do that you've always wanted to understand better. Your story might inspire one of our next videos. Thank you for spending this quiet moment with me. Until next time, keep your home cozy, keep your heart open, love your animals fiercely, and never stop listening to the small, silent language of the ones who trust you.